G'day, and welcome to another cast, and this time it's Ashes of Typhon, one of the new maps from Retribution, or one of the patches, I'm not quite sure, but I do know that it's new-ish. And here we have LittleBaJIeHoK playing the Lord General with IG, not particularly a favourite race of mine, but it's nonetheless very, very powerful. But I think it's actually a little bit harder to play IG than some of the other races. It's kind of like Tyranids. They're very, very squishy, and it takes quite a lot of control upon your units to really make IG shine. And of course, HoLyHammer, we all know HoLyHammer. He's one of the real top class players in the game and is a bit of a devil with all races. And he is also playing a very weak race in respect to the individual models, high model count, and individual models fall quite fast. So it's all about controlling your blobs with both these races. Of course, IG does have the very heavy mech base play that allows them to move into a different type of playstyle from the IG themselves. But still, I think they're quite similar in many ways. You notice that he's not using his stomp for some reason. Maybe the Hive Tyrant's too big to stomp, that is a possibility. Or he might be waiting for him to actually go into melee, which is exactly what he was doing. Now this is interesting. This IG unit here, while it looks like a mech, is actually counted as like a normal infantry, which is why it can cap. It can't actually cap, but it can decap, and it's very, very good at that. A lot of IG players do tend to overuse the Sentinels, and we'll just see how many he gets out. And HoLyHammer is going for 3 Termagant Broods, so he's definitely going for the ranged blob of death, as it's been called. I'm not quite sure where I got that term from. I think I got it from a Shaylee cast. This is actually posted by Shaylee, this replay. But it was, it's definitely true. You can see the synapse from the Hive Tyrant is already working. And that is one of the things that does take quite a bit of getting used to if you're a Tyranid player, is realizing how that they scale. I mean, it comes a bounce to disable those guys. You need to spread out your Tyranid units when fighting IG because of those bounces. But yeah, I mean, when you're playing with Tyranid, it's very easy to get confused by exactly how the scaling works between the levels and as well as the synapses. You'll have engagements that you absolutely trounce, and then the same kind of engagement you'll get absolutely crushed, and you'll be sitting there scratching your head going, well, what the hell was actually different? And the answer is, of course, it's got some shift clicking going on down here, which was like StarCraft, and you could see paths by highlighting. Yeah, and you'd be wondering, what the hell's going on, man? Like, why the hell can't I do that? And it's often because in one engagement you were inside synapse range and another engagement you weren't. Because it does make an absolutely ridiculously huge difference to the power and the defense of the Tyranid blob. And as I said before, in probably my first cast, I actually think that synergizes so well with what Tyranid are, as in Tyranid are a swarm of bug kind of creatures, I guess. So the idea that they move as a blob, and you know, the synapse is specifically designed by the game designers to increase the likelihood that you are going to blob their units. Boom! We do have the Catchland Devils. That's what's doing all that exploding stuff. That's a very, very good choice. But as you can see, the crippling poison has been placed upon them. And that severely limits their ability to use the Old Faithful, as it's been called so many times. And by Old Faithful, I'm talking about their rather powerful grenade barrage kind of thing that they do. But it doesn't have range, it's not like the Heretics barrage. So the crippling poison is really the answer to that. Now Hammer should be heading straight to tier 2 from here. We shouldn't be seeing any more units coming out of HoLyHammer. And we have that Sentinel over here just going around decapping. Heading off to decap this node now. And meanwhile the Tyranid blob is going to go up and around the left. This is a very interesting map. I didn't really get time to talk about this map, but what we've got here is you have two victory point nodes over here that are only supported by two. See if you can see these rec nodes. And they're very, very close to each other, and this is where a lot of the battling takes place. But over this other side, you have this ginormous sort of area going up here and here, where all the rec nodes and power nodes are kind of out of the way for most of the fighting. And it really creates a problem when you have blob armies like this Tyranid army, because while the Tyranid army is forced to blob up, and IG is as well, and oh no, this Sentinel's going down. Terrible. That's a bit of a heavy loss for LittleBaJIeHoK. Yeah, so I'm absolutely not a fan of this. What's it called? The Barb Strangler. I think it's a very kind of useless ability, especially with the other abilities that's going to be coming into play. Personally, I think if you've got 3 Termagant Prudes all running crippling poison, why would you need another suppression system? So yeah, I would have probably left them in as melee and then upgraded them to the ranged attack once the full blob is working. Yeah, but the point is though, like, because Tyranids have to blob up really heaps, man. They're like, they're unable to control the map in the same way. I mean, IG does have to blob as well, especially at the beginning, but later on they're going to get out some quite heavy armor, which allows them to start splitting up. And this map is particularly bad at that. That's why you don't want to face a Chaos Sorcerer or a Warp Spider on this map, because... oh, look, there is a... is he going to fall for that? No, he sees it. Boom. Very, very good game presence there by HoLyHammer, realizing that that looked like a suspicious trap. And we have the grenade launchers on the Lord General. And there's a very, very early strike. Crippling poison. I think the Catchlons have already used their ability already up to level 2. And they're going to have to get out of there quick smart, all those units. That big tanky hive tyrant's not that worried. We're going to be... oh, there it is there. I was just about to say, where's the stormtroopers? And here they are now. Be interested to see which one they get. They do get the assault kit, which is been falling a little bit out of favour in the recent replays I've seen because of the patch. Everyone wants to try out the new things, but the fact is those Lascans are absolutely ridiculously powerful, especially when you're playing Tyranid, which is probably going to head into tier tier 3 and get out the real big guns. It will make a huge difference versus those Carnifexes. And we do have the Venom Brood out finally, and it is getting the range synapse, and there it just clicked, and that is a huge bonus. And this blob has just got a whole lot scarier. But this is the correct, in inverted commas, build order for the ranged blob. You can actually get there faster by dropping the Venom Brood, dropping the Warrior Brood. And here comes some Ogrons. I'm not sure Ogrons are a particularly good choice here. They seem to excel in melee in the games I play. Against them, they seem to do best in melee. There's Old Faithful, completely disrupting that blob. Unfortunately, that doesn't have a stun of any sort, so it really doesn't slow down the DPS of them too much. Here comes the Ogrons straight into the melee, and we should be seeing crippling poison on those guys and then just nuking the hell out of them. But we don't. Haven't seen a lot of action from this Hive Tyrant. Wow, the Hive Tyrant went down. Looks like he just sat there and took it. And another Zoetrope. You know, things have obviously changed. When I was playing this game, no one ever built a Zoetrope. But I've cast 3 Tyranid games just out of fluke, I guess. And every single person's got a Zoetrope. So things are definitely changing here. Nice gen harass here. You really look that you can see the ranged blob starting to get some power up. There's the crippling poison. Heal goes off, but that's not going to be enough, and that should be all you wrote for those Ogrons. That exact combo we just saw then should be able to be done again and again and again and again. Just lock down those Ogrons completely. Now the Zoetrope of course has incredibly long range, as you can see here, and a great AoE damage if those guys don't move. Oh, bang. Absolutely devastating. Now these guys better get out of it quick. We do have double Ogrons on the field, and without the crippling poison focus fire, and another Zoetrope coming up. The other Zoetrope must have died somewhere. I thought he escaped. I could have sworn I saw him escape. It looked like he got caught up in the explosion maybe. And again, harassing that power. This is so important, and something that a lot of new players completely forget about. And that is, you have to knock this power, especially playing against Tyranid. They have an incredibly fearful tier 3, and the longer you can delay that, the better. But I really would like to see some armor coming out for the IG. And here we are, the Manticore, finally. This is an absolutely game-changing piece of equipment for the IG, and it allows them to control the map in a way that is really unparalleled between any other race. Crippling poison to slow those guys down. Oh no, he didn't lose, he's actually gotten 2. Now, it is interesting to note that synapses don't stack, so this doesn't, as far as I know anyway, this doesn't double. And there those Ogres trying desperately to get in there. But the crippling poison does save their lives. These Ogres are actually doing a great job at controlling this army. I thought they would have been totally locked down by the Rage Blob and the crippling poison, but it just does not seem to be the case. The Hive Tyrant has not been purchased yet again. He's trying to hit that tier 3 before he purchases the Tyrant, which is a real shame, because if he got that carapace that allows him to charge, that is a fantastic armor. You get that, you run in and you could knock down these Ogres and then crippling poison after them, completely control them. And there's the Manticore Strike, which completely controls. As you can see, it pushes the armor off. It just pushes the army backwards, really giving you the ability to control the space. And there's not. And here finally comes the Hive Tyrant. About time. Where the hell have you been, man? And your big blood red gooiness. Those Zoetropes absolutely crush these little fragile IG units with their AoE. Boom, boom! They're no Wraithguard, but they're still pretty damn good. Okay, Rending Talons. Coming up for the Hive Tyrant. That, of course, gives him the Seismic Roar, I think it's called, yes, which is an AoE pushback ability, again for controlling the IG blob. These Catchlins, again, you see how powerful that is? They really need to find that Manticore as quickly as possible. This actually isn't the best location to park it. You can actually park this Manticore right here. It's a lot easier to find, but if you park it here, you can control this entrance, this VP, and this VP. Meanwhile, I should actually probably be looking at the battle. Yeah, see, this is why you want to get that charge. If he had charge here, he would have been able to save so much damage. Or has he got retreat? He must have had retreat on, but just didn't have the little sign. And down he goes yet again. Oops, I should probably hide this. I always forget to do that. Now this is the way I think these should be used, these bombs. Because placing them at nodes is just so obvious, but you can place them in a lot of areas. Here comes the Old Faithful, and that was just way too early. There are so many combos you can combo with that Manticore Strike. These Catchlins, they should be hidden here. This is where you want to hide them in stealth mode. Then what happens, you drop the Manticore Strike here, they push backwards over that way, and then you bomb them this way, which knocks them back into the Manticore Strike. That is a very common thing I've seen happen. Oh, those Zoetropes are absolutely crushing. They won't stand up to those Ogrons. And we finally see a tier 3 from LittleBaJIeHoK, and look how much wreck he has. That is absolutely insane. We could very, very well see a Baneblade. And we're getting another Zoetrope. Okay, bonded exoskeleton finally coming up. Hardly any upgrades of any sort on the IG army. Have to get out of there quick smart. Okay, so that gives him the halo. It's interesting to see so many Zoetropes. These are such fragile units, and most players, they just die as soon as they're on the field, but HoLyHammer does have the control to really bring these to life, but going up against Ogrons is probably not the best idea when you're a Zoetrope. And this is what we should be seeing more of. These guys can be completely locked down and crushed. But once again, saved by the Manticore. And that Manticore needs to be scouted out and destroyed. Probably the best thing to do would be to actually build a melee unit that has the ability to stealth. I think for Tyranid, that is the Gene Stealers. Look at the map. Blue is everywhere. HoLyHammer is just being completely controlled here. These guardsmen are probably not going to be able to handle those. There goes the heal again. HoLyHammer's wreck is nice. Red is nice and high. Unfortunately, they don't really have the best options when it comes to their globals. There's For the Swarm, I think it is. I think it's like For the Swarm is a very underused one, which is actually extremely good. Like I said, I'm not interesting. He just pops his shield and just tanks straight through that, hardly losing any HP. But of course now he won't be able to stand up to those Ogrons. Where's your shout? Or is he out of energy? He's out of energy, so he can't even do the shout to knock him back. And again, that heal going off, just absolutely changing the way that these IG battles are going. Okay, Holy realizes that he really needs to start doing some capping. And I'm not just talking about capping VPs here. They really need to start getting control. Is that a fourth Zoetrope on the field? Yes, it is. This Manticore hasn't moved. Now Holy must know where this Manticore is. I'm almost certain that healing aura does not stack, but if it does stack, that would be pretty crazy. Again, using the shield to give him the ability to tank through that barrage. Look at the wreck. Look at that. It's like 900. We're definitely going for a Baneblade here from Little Bell. And unless this game's going to be over pretty soon. Wow. He completely not paying attention and loses one of his Ogre Strons. That's a big win for Holy. He does put out the flares, but... Oh no! Zoetropes! Zoetropes! No worries. That's a big win. And here comes the Baneblade. Just as Holy is going to tier 3. Now, a lot of players, especially early, new players, just start quitting when the super units come out. But, and there's the Lord General. He finally got another war gear, the Flak Jacket. An absolutely perfect ability for, for the choices we have here. It completely negates a lot of the power of the Tyranid range blob. But again, the Hive Tyrant with that shield is just able to get these caps off, which is so important. And I'm so impressed with these Zoetropes just absolutely crushing in this game. I mean, I really have to reevaluate my opinion of these things. Oh no, my cat's here. Don't go away. I put pictures of my cat again at the end of my last video. Not that I don't think anyone ever lasted that long. It was a very long game, so I don't know if anyone ever saw her. She was very cute, weren't you, Puss? Okay, so the Baneblade is out, and it has been seen. And that is bad news. Now the Baneblade, of course, is countered, well not countered, I guess, well yeah, its counter is the, where's that going, down here? The Baneblade's counter is of course melee. It has a number of very, very powerful abilities that are all ranged, and we really do not have much ranged and much melee creatures in the Tyranid army at the moment. Get out of there. Oh, right on the retreat path. If this Baneblade gets one of its big shots off on the blob, it'll absolutely kill everything. Like that. Look at all that. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Absolutely crushing. Will that actually do anything? I don't even know if this is really going to hurt it. Absolutely nothing. Completely waste of an ability there. That's a desperation move there by HoLyHammer. I'm really not sure what the point of that was. The Tyranniform is, of course, not really... It's not like, the Abyss. It's not designed to just kill your enemies. What it does do is actually place a permanent AoE synapse which does buff everyone around it. And that's what it should be used for creating fortifications, not for trying to destroy a freaking blade. I mean, that just made absolutely no sense. And if they had any sense, these guys would be shift clicking these to destroy them. So watch, as these guys get closer, you'll see the synapse from the Tyrannoform start to take effect. And there is also an AoE damage that goes through here, which means that as the forces charge through here to defend this point, they're all going to get slightly damaged as well. So I guess that is what he was using this for. And out comes a Russ. Now, this should be a bit of a problem. He's going to use that to crush the Tyrannoform. We're going to see if we get... Whoa, those... Wow, I am just so impressed with those... So impressed with how they've been going. Another Tyrannoform on that Flame Blade. It just seems completely unnecessary. Get into melee range. He has upgraded to the Crushing Claws, which is the vehicle melee ability. And that Blame Blade's in a lot of trouble. And what's going to happen here, which is quite interesting, is he's going to lead this guy straight to his Manticore. See, that would be where I would have done a Tyrannoform. A Tyrannoform on a Manticore would actually kill it. Wow, I just cannot get over how absolutely awesome these Zoetropes have been in this match. Oh, I've got a little Tyrant Guard coming out. These are very, very cool. These are actually one of my favourite Tyranid units. Look how awesome he is. I should buy one of these and paint it because they're so awesome. Lord General goes down. That Tyrant Guard is coming out to try and get that Baneblade, which should be, if not repaired to full, close. And another Tyrant Guard coming out. One thing HoLyHammer is so good at is preserving his squads. I don't think he's lost a squad the entire game. I mean, he is just such a pro when it comes to that. And while he tries to take out those dudes but unable, and while that doesn't really make a difference at early game, late game like now, having those leveled up squads is just ridiculously important. This Baneblade could go down. Has he popped it? He's got energy, so he can pop his shield. There we go. And now that guy, he's gone. Just a few more hits. Oh, dude! What? Yes. Oh, I was like, what the fuck is going on? He's running away. And now Little Bell is in a lot of trouble. And this is something I see in IG quite a lot, is this heavy investment into the Baneblade, and then heavy control of the Baneblade and ignoring what else is going on. And look at him now, he's got like what, 2 squads and a brand new set of Ogrins, while HoLyHammer has a completely leveled up army. And that's exactly right, GG. HoLyHammer really showing why he is considered one of the best players. I mean, unit preservation just off the charts. We saw so much in this game, back and forth, and LittleBaJIeHoK really had the opportunity to take over this game, and I think that the heading straight to that Baneblade was just a terrible idea. I'm still not entirely sure what the hell the point of these Tyrannoforms were, but and these Zoetropes absolutely kick ass. I was shocked beyond belief at how amazingly good they were in this game. Okay, yes I do. Have a quick look at the stats. I know no one really cares about stats, but may as well have a quick look at them. Oop. There's a phone. Hey bro, what's up mate?
Nothing too much. I'm just walking back from Brookvale. I've just dropped off my car. And
what's wrong with your car again?
Might be an opportunity to go have a coffee.
Oh, a coffee, you say? I really want to, but I'm waiting for the fucking electrician. I really want to, but I'm waiting for the electrician to turn up.